My name is Susan, and the reason why I got involved with the Women's March is because I'm a mom of 3 daughters and 2 sons, all of whom are in their 20s, and they all, 4 out of 5 graduated from college with over $30,000 in student debt, and I'm concerned about their future and the future of our grandchildren.
I feel our democracy is at stake. I feel that unless we keep the pressure on the government for women's rights, the rights of all people, that we're going to lose it. I'm very alarmed at what the Trump administration is doing. So I feel it is a fight for our democracy, nothing less.
I cannot believe that we are in the 3rd millennium of humanity and we are still facing inequality and oppression. This is about freedom, and this is about love, and this is about equality.
I have had enough of patriarchy in this country. I am marching and I am attending the rally because I personally want to stand up for equal rights for absolutely every human being. I want our dignity to be respected for absolutely everyone on this planet. And I think that until each and every one of us can trade places with anyone else on this earth, until that happens and we are all comfortable with that, we still have work to do. And as far as the Me Too movement goes, wouldn't it be beautiful, wouldn't it be absolutely fantastic if we had a day where no woman ever had to say Me Too again?
It's important to me because it revolves around the First Amendment, which is specifically what we are involved in, is our First Amendment rights and making sure that people are aware and taking advantage of the fact that we can do this.
My core values as far as equality and justice and the freedoms that a lot of us have taken for granted for a long time, that if I don't at least speak up or my voice isn't heard, then I become part of the problem rather than the solution.
I can think of a lot of instances where I've been kind of not listened to or heard or thought, my pay is different than a man's pay. There's a lot of things in this world that we still need to take care of, and so I just want to help in any way I can to be part of that. That's being on the right page of history. That's where we need to all be.
Here to show my kids that they have a voice and it matters, and to get up and show the world that we matter and we're still here and we're standing strong.
Doing our resistance has made a difference. Absolutely. Democracy is alive and well if we are active participants.
This march became important to me because when I realized that it was going to be grassroots activists getting together, which was going to pull people together here in Spokane, which I knew we needed to do, then that's why it became important to me. Because I wanted to see people get together in this town to support not only women's issues, but the human issues that we have going on right now. And I just wanted to hang out with some cool people again.
I could feel the energy in the community. They just have this pent-up energy that needs to get somewhere productive. And one of the first things that they could do being productive is get together, do a little celebration kind of thing, do a couple of icebreakers where they get to meet each other and then start making real connections, finding out where they have real ties to each other. Build alliances, reach out, make real changes. We can't keep doing the same things we've been doing before. We have to start from square one. So here we are, building some community, having a good time.
I am a retired teacher, and in the process of teaching, I delighted in teaching my kids about our democracy and checks and balances and so on. When Trump was elected, I became extremely concerned about our democracy, and I've gotten more and more alarmed. The Women's March last year was a ray of hope. So I, since then, have worked with people in my community to start Elk Indivisible, became involved in Indivisible, got to know Cynthia Hamilton when we had an Indivisible summit at her house, and she contacted me to become involved in the Women's March for 2018.
It's only been 22 days. Tomorrow will be the 23rd, and it's amazing how all of these people just knew how to do this. Everybody's talents all came in if somebody didn't know how to do something, there was somebody to come over and pick up the slack or direct them to the right person. And so I think we've done really good as a team on this. It's pretty remarkable, actually. For something that wasn't going to happen originally, I think we did a good job. For me personally, this march, no matter how shy I might be for my own self, I have 2 daughters, and I need to do everything I can in my power to make sure that their rights are not taken away and that they live in a place in the world where a lot of the regulations and things like that are being stripped away. Hopefully we can put those back, and that concerns me greatly.
And when I heard that the march had fallen apart, I came across Cindy, and she's also a member of our group. And I knew we had to have a voice for Spokane. We'd come so far this year, and we needed to hook into our communities and continue to be persistent in our goals. We've got to change the climate of our country. I'm a retired teacher and principal, and to think that my whole life was all created around helping kids to never turn out like the commander-in-chief. I had to find an outlet to bring back integrity to children's lives. And so this is my way of doing it, and I love it. I love the inspiration that I'm seeing worldwide. It creates hope for me to think, those 40 years of education that you put into helping kids was not a waste after all. The world's behind us, so I had to do it.
This is my country. I fought for it as part of the civil rights movement, and I didn't fight for this.
I got involved in the planning committee for the Spokane Women's March 2018 because these are scary times.
Well, I hope this march accomplishes a feeling of unity and community and togetherness, and just the fact that, hey, you're not alone.
This march is extra important because we need to get people out, register to them to vote. We need people going to the polls and voting. That is the best way to get your voice heard, is to vote. If you are not voting, then you are allowing this to happen, this destruction, this divide to happen in our country, and that is not what we're about. We are about a compassionate country. Every race, every culture, we need to respect each other. We need to unite. We don't need to be divided.
To make our voices be heard, and I think the most important is to get the young generation involved, to get everybody out here and realize that this is a democracy, and we have to protect it, and we have to love it, and we have to support it, and we have to be out here raising our voices and voting.
But when you start saying, we can do this, we can stop this, we can elect people who will represent what we want instead of what they want.
Saving what is dear to us is up to us. Only we can do it. We can't wait for somebody else to do it. And we need to stand up for what we believe in and speak truth to power and be brave and understand that there's a real threat, and the threat is irrationalism. It's neo-fascism.
I think it's very important that we continue this movement to resist the immoral behavior of this current administration. We need to get people engaged in democracy and in civil issues, get people registered to vote, and the biggest thing to me is that I've always said is my goal is to leave a legacy for my children and make the world a better place.
It might be called a women's march. It might be the part of the main focus of why we're marching. But for me, overall, it's about equality for minorities, for gender and sexuality related issues, for people that don't have a voice or that feel that their voices are just not getting heard. So that is why I'm part of this.